Hello everyone, and welcome to the analysis of the Ramayana characters. Today, we will be taking a look into the character of Rama. Let us begin. Rama lived several centuries ago, but to this day, his life story inspires millions of people around the world. Why is he so famous? What is it about him and his life that attracts so many people? He was the perfect man, and he showed us how to become perfect. He showed us, by example, how to attain that perfection. Though he was endowed with the features of physical perfection, good looks, wealth, and strength, it were his inner qualities that made him truly perfect. He was guided by dharma and satyam, righteousness and truth. These values by which he lived and for which he fought and sacrificed make him an exemplary standard for others to live by. His life story shows us that knowing one's dharma and living by it will indeed lead to perfection and peace within oneself and happiness and harmony outside. Whenever good people suffer and evil flourishes, Lord Vishnu descends to earth. He destroys the evil, helps the good, and re-establishes the dharma. Lord Vishnu had come down, taken an avatar several times, but it was time for him to come again. The earth was groaning under the weight of the atrocities of evil people, and very sad at the sight of sages and sadhus suffering. And most evil among all was Ravana, the ruler of Lanka. He had acquired several boons and made himself powerful. He was nearly invincible. He did whatever he liked without a care as to how much distress he caused. The gods, devas, went to Vaikunta, Lord Vishnu's abode, and begged him to re-establish order on the earth. Lord Vishnu assured them of his help. He decided to take form of a man, as Ravana's boons did not include death by a human. He asked the devas to help him in his task by taking birth as monkeys and bears. But where would the Lord descend? In whose home would he take his avatar and as a human? The honor of being the Lord's father went to King Dashratha, the king of Kosala. Lord Vishnu was to be born as his eldest son, Rama. Rama was born in Kosala's capital, the holy city of Ayodhya, in the state of Uttar Pradesh, India today. To this day, Rama's birthday is celebrated the world over as Sri Rama Navami. Rama was born on the 9th day of the month Chaitra. Like the birthdays of Buddha, Jesus Christ, or Krishna, Rama's birthday is also a time for rejoicing and a time to recall his glorious deeds. For all his divine and extraordinary origins, Rama lived an ordinary human life. His parents doted on him, much more so as he had come late into their lives. They showered their love on him and his 3 brothers. As the boys grew up, they were educated by the best of teachers. They learned the art of warfare and the rules of kingship. When all the 4 brothers were excellent students, Rama was surely the best. Rama was also the most popular. His brothers loved him, especially Lakshmana, who followed him everywhere. Even the courtiers in the palace and the people of Kosala's capital, Ayodhya, found him irresistible. Who could fault them? He was good and kind, noble at heart, and tender in manners. He was never boastful or arrogant. He was devoted to dharma and treated his elders with great respect. He was brave and strong. He was handsome, with loving eyes and a dignified behavior. He was a joy to look at and a joy to be with. Indeed, Rama was true to his name. He was a source of joy for everyone. One day, when Rama was a young man of 16, there came to Dashratha's court sage Vishwamitra. He told the king that he needed to perform a yajna, but that there were demons, Rakshasas, who spoiled it. The sage wanted to take Rama to guard the sacrificial fire and to defeat the Rakshasas. Dashratha trembled with anxiety at the thought of sending young Rama to fight the Rakshasas. At the same time, he feared to incur the wrath. He feared to incur the anger of the great sage. Finally, Vaishishta, Dashratha's family guru, intervened and advised the king to send Rama. The king accepted, and Rama, along with his brother Lakshmana, went with sage Vishwamitra. As they walked through the forest, they were attacked by a demoness, a Rakshasi known as Tataka, who, though a female, was the very personification of evil. After a terrible fight, Rama killed Tataka with a deadly arrow. Then they proceeded to sage Vishwamitra's ashram where the sacrifice was being performed. Rama and Lakshmana kept vigil for 6 days and nights to ward off the offenders, and on the 6th day, as expected, the demons Maricha and Subahu arrived with their followers to disturb the yajna. Rama killed Subahu and aimed an arrow at Maricha that threw him 100 yojanas near the sea. The yajna was completed, much to the satisfaction of Vishwamitra and the assembled sages. They were filled with joy and blessed Rama and Lakshmana. After the yajna, Vishwamitra gave Rama and Lakshmana various powerful weapons, astras, and taught them their secret formulas and mantras. He knew they would need to be well equipped, as in the future they would have to fight stronger and fiercer Rakshasas than Tataka, Maricha, or Subahu. That is the end of this recording. Thank you all for listening. Jai Shrimanara.